investors like yourself. And then we'll open the room up to some questions if anyone has any questions afterwards, okay? So, first of all, as I just said, I'm Rhys Meny, CEO of Hunter Jones. I host a podcast which is called Meny Talks. Been ranked top 25 by iTunes in business and property. So if any of you listen to podcasts, feel free to download that on iTunes, Podbean, or any of the other channels. We've successfully, as a company, raised 45 million for property developers in the last 36 months. And the way that we've done that, which we'll run through as we go through this presentation, is with the help of people like yourself, people that are looking for a smarter alternative than just a normal buy-to-let. I was the finalist of Young Personality at the Property Awards Week a couple of weeks ago, and a leading entrepreneur in the investment sector at the moment. A few pictures there of people that we've worked with, my marketing team, my beautiful daughter and my wife, and me and Ricky Martin that was on my podcast a couple of months ago. It's a great interview. So about myself, I dropped out of school at 15, so a lot of people, and why I started the podcast, look and think that you need a good background to be able to succeed in business, or you need some good foundations before you can do anything. I'm proof that with hard work, determination, you can do absolutely anything that you want to do. I entered into a family business after leaving school at 15. I started in the sales market for them, growing the business. It was my father's business. I grew that sales team in 2 years by 100%. What I've then done is I went from that business, which he sold out successfully, to working in the property space for companies similar to Hunter Jones that wanted to raise money in the alternative sector for investors. But in my opinion, and after I'd been working with them for some time, their end goal wasn't the vision that I had. Their end goal was to get as many clients on board as possible, but not really worry about the end result. So not really worry at the back end whether that investment come to maturity, how it come to maturity, or even if it did come to maturity. All they was looking to do was bring more people through the door, raise more money, and they wasn't worried about the back end. So I started Hunter Jones for that reason, because I didn't believe that they treated their customers fairly, or their clients fairly. I didn't think that they'd give them the service that investors deserve, or the service that I would want if I was in the investor's shoes. So that's why we formed Hunter Jones. Founded it. The reason, as I said, there's the team over there on the left. It's changed slightly now. That was a year ago. What they wasn't doing their due diligence on projects, these other companies that I'd worked for previously. So one thing that you can look at when working with Hunter Jones, anything that we introduce to investors like yourself, is I would have worked with these developers for at least 3 months to 4 months before introducing them to you guys. Okay? I don't have a crystal ball, and I'm not a magician. We understand that things do go wrong. But touch wood, in the last 6 years, we've had no projects that have defaulted on us in any way, shape or form. We've had a couple of delays, but we haven't had any defaults, and we're looking to keep that going. We did not care if the returns were delivered. Okay, we want to make sure that the returns are delivered to investors like yourself. Repeat business. Our business is made of referrals now. So when we launched it, 2013 is when it was launched. We're experts in the UK and European property market. Okay, what we offer is a fixed rate of return. Okay, through a property bond. And for you that don't know what a property bond is, most people understand what a property bond is. A loan note is an IOU. But for people that want a little bit more detail, we've put together an e-book, is how we put it, about a property bond sector, so that how it works in general and overall of what you should look for when making an investment in a property bond. As said before, criteria, we've raised 45 million in the last 36 months. We only work with high research opportunities and with developers that I've worked with, as I've said before, for at least 3 to 4 months before offering them opportunities to yourself. We're continuing. Our growth is continuing. We're looking to grow again this year. We're looking really this year to raise, and we're on target to raise criteria. It's got 18 million down here, but we're more looking around the 20 million mark by the end of this year. Our goal is to be the UK's leading introducing investment company by 2024. Business lessons that I've learned along the way. And I think this is the same as investing. You know, you're always learning, and we're never too old to learn. And there's a lot of people that say to me, "Oh, Reece, I've just give up on learning. I know what I need to know, and I'm just going to continue to do that." Don't get distracted in what you're doing. You need to make sure that you focus on your end goal and what it is that you're looking for out of that opportunity. Take action. Don't just, there's so many people that pick up magazines and listen to podcasts, read books, but that's all they do. If that's all you're looking to do, then that's fine. But if you want to make something happen, you need to take action. The people that you network with, these events are fantastic. You network with people, you find people that are experts in their sector, and that's how you're going to get your investments to work well for yourself. As I said previously, be clear on your goals. So when making an investment opportunity, you need to make sure you know before anybody else what it is that you want at the back end of that investment. Understand your points, your difference, and the risk profile of what you're getting involved with. Okay, so make sure before getting involved with whether it's a buy-to-let, that you've done your research on the area that you're investing in, the rental returns. Make sure that you've looked at the structure of the project to make sure that it's all what it says that it is. And the same as investing in a property bond, we don't expect you just to take our advice or people's advice that project is a safe bet. What you need to do is go to see the developer, make sure that it makes sense for yourself before anybody else. There's a lot of alternative companies out there that will offer you their advice or their expertise, the same as my team. Don't just take our words for it, okay? One thing that we pride ourselves on at Hunter Jones, if you was to make, or you wanted to look at an opportunity with ourselves, okay, we would take you from your house to the developer so that you can make sure that this is something that fits right for your portfolio and you've met the people that are behind the opportunity. So be a lender, not a landlord. There's loads of landlords. In how many of the landlords have we got in here today? I'm a landlord. Yeah, so it's fallen, it's going down. 120,000 in the last 3 years is fallen by. Okay? Property bonds is an alternative. The reason it's an alternative because how many of us as landlords have sat there on a Sunday evening, maybe having dinner, playing with the family, you get a telephone call from one of your tenants, there's a problem. Some people might have a lettings company or management company that manage their portfolio for them. The people that do it themselves, me being included, sat there, problems on a Sunday, a Saturday, whenever it is. The reason that we believe property bonds are an alternative because it's more of an armchair investment. You know what you're getting back without any of the hassle, and it's been proven in one of our white papers that's on our stand if you want to look at that. That they've delivered 3 times greater returns in the areas that we're working with than any buy-to-let in that area, which is a great figure. Great returns, less hassle. As I said, typical opportunities that we offer show around a 10% yield per year. Success stories. So if we look at Empire, who we've worked with, fantastic developer. I've worked with them for the last 4 years. We've bought 3 property loan notes out. The first one we showed a return of 27.2% return. They specialise in something called permitted development rights. A show of hands if there's many people that have been involved with PD schemes before. So a few people understand what the PD scheme is. Just to explain for those that are not sure what permitted development rights is, what that is a law that you can change office space into residential. So the building's already there, okay? All you're doing basically is going in, stripping out and converting it into flats. That's how we can show these yields, or this is how Empire could show these yields. Because how many people in the room think 27.2% return over 2 years is too good to be true? Be honest, who thinks that? Fantastic, because that's why I like standing here and talking to you guys, because everyone's opinion is 27.2% is too good to be true. It's impossible to do that. We've got track record, we've got testimonials, and we can back up that we showed these returns to investors. And the way that we've done that is we raised in the first loan note £6 million through investors like yourself. 100% finance to Empire Property Holdings through a loan note mechanism. They bought 3 developments in the first 12 months. In the first 12 months of holding them funds, they had bought them 3 developments, purchased them, converted them, rented them out, and refinanced them in 12 months. That comes to the refinancing 13.9 million, okay, which is a case study which we can go through on our stand. We can show you that in black and white. 13.9 million on the first 3 developments in 12 months. Bearing in mind this loan note, okay, is a 2-year loan note. So at that stage, they could have paid everybody back their 6 million plus their interest at 27.2% and shut the loan note. Is everyone with me so far, yeah? What they've done was opted to go and do another 3 developments at pure profit. You're probably now asking yourself, how come they only give 27.2% return when their last 3 developments were pure profit? Because investors are giving them 100% finance, which allows them to move through the process a lot quicker than working with a bridging lender, a mainstream lender, because some of you that would have done that, you understand that it can be time consuming. It means that Empire could move forward a lot quicker and get these developments converted. So that's where it was. 27.2 was the actual return over 2 years. It was featured in the Daily Telegraph. There's articles out there. It was a fantastic investment opportunity, and we're continuing to do that. So if there's anybody in here that's interested in something like that, you can either speak to myself after or speak to one of my team on our stand. Guys, Warren Buffett says risk comes from not knowing what you're doing. My advice to everybody in here, as I started this presentation, okay, is about doing due diligence. It's not about what people tell you. It's about what you can see yourself. Don't take anybody else's word for it. Go and see it yourself. Seeing's believing. See the developers, meet the developers. There's so many projects out there, and there's so many people similar to myself, okay, that will stand there and tell you, we can show you these returns at 27.2% return. They won't take you to see developers. They don't want to meet you, so be very, very careful of who you're working with in the alternative sector. Okay, make sure that you meet people. This is my advice to anybody that's in here today. Make sure you meet people. Make sure that you don't just speak to them over the telephone. Make sure you meet these people. Make sure you go through the contracts. Make sure you know what you're getting involved with. Make sure the security is there. Every project we do at Hunter Jones, okay, the investors will have a first legal charge over that asset, and that would be held through a regulated entity, a regulated security trustee. So make sure you do your diligence and you know what you're getting involved with, guys. Okay? I want to open the room to some questions. It's a very short and sweet presentation from myself. Hopefully you've got a feel for what we do as a company, what I've done, where I've come from, what I'm looking to do and what I'm looking to achieve. I'm here to help you guys make a better return than what you're making already. But if it's not with me, educate you to make sure that you make the right decision with who you're going to be working with in the future. That's it from me, guys. Is there any questions?
I thought you said you were going to display an Excel to illustrate what you did in the past.
With the case study with Empire Property Concepts, I spoke through it. It's not on the presentation, but one-to-one I can go through how we achieved the 27.2 if you want a spreadsheet and see it. Okay? Is that what you're looking for?